It's easy for all of us to relate to a situation where we are sitting in a room that is bright and all of a sudden the lights go out. And whether that's because we shut the light or someone shut the light or there's a power outage. And at that point, immediately our first reaction is that it's pitch black. But over the course of time, a couple of seconds, maybe a minute, our eyes adjust. And we realize it's not quite as dark as it was. If we're in a familiar room, we're able to make out some shadows. Maybe we can see certain things, depending if there is some light coming in through a window. It certainly is not, after a few minutes, the same way it was the moment that the lights went out. When it came to the Makkah of Choshech, the plague of darkness that Hashem brought upon the Mitzrayim in Mitzrayim, the Torah tells us that there were two different levels of this darkness. Lo ra'u ish es achiv. The first was that a person was not able to see their own family member. One couldn't see his brother. The second was v'lo kamu ish mitachtav. One wasn't able to even stand. For shloshes yamim, 3 days, ulechol b'nei Yisrael haya or b'moshvosam. But for the Jewish people, they had light. And Rashi explains to us that the Makkah of Choshech was not only for 3 days, but that each of these intense period of darkness took 3 days. So initially the darkness was that a person couldn't even recognize their own family member because of the heaviness of the darkness. That tells us something about the intensity of the darkness. But then there was another 3 days where not only could someone not recognize a family member, but it was so dark they couldn't even stand up. Or a person was standing, couldn't even sit. And so this darkness literally changed the way people were able to function. Everything stopped because they couldn't even move. And the Chidushei Harim connects the darkness to our lives by explaining the following. He says on an allegorical level, Lo ra'u ish es achiv, if we cannot see the pain of achiv, of our brethren, if we can't see the pain of our fellow, then v'lo kamu ish mitachtav, then we can't even stand up. We can't function. In other words, we have to care about the pain of others in order for us to feel whole and be productive. We can't live a life in which we just ignore or just simply walk around and not even give thought to the struggle that other people are going through. And the Chidush Harim says this is something which is so pertinent to our lives that we learn from the Makkah of Choshech, from the Makkah of darkness. That certainly during the times when people are going through dark period in their lives, we need to be able to see the darkness that they are experiencing so that we can connect and try as we can on whatever level to be a support for them. We must always strive to feel for others. If we fail to do so, then we're truly living life in the dark. Thank you for listening and have a good Shabbos.